DidikTV KPM.
Salam sejahtera, anda sedang menonton Road to Success SPM 2021 bersama dengan saya, Sean Steven selaku host anda. Baiklah, sebelum kita mula, saya nak ingatkan kepada anda semua untuk sentiasa mengikut SOP yang ditetapkan bagi menangani penularan COVID-19 seperti memakai pelitup muka, pastikan pakai dengan betul, meliputi daripada atas hidung ke bawah dagu, serta kerap cuci tangan dengan air dan sabun. Pakailah hand sanitizer ataupun gel pembasmi kuman dan juga pastikan jarak di antara satu sama lain tidak kurang daripada 1 meter apabila berada di tempat awam. Dan oleh sebab untuk hari ini adanya ataupun berlakunya, bukan berlakunya tetapi ini adalah program dalam bahasa Inggeris. So izinkan saya untuk berbahasa Inggeris untuk keseluruhan program ini. So okay, everyone who is watching right now, what's going to happen is, as you know, the lesson will be in English, but let's have a look at the teacher's profile. And from the profile, you already know who she is. Please put your hands together virtually for Miss Sim. Hi, Miss Sim.
Hi.
A very good evening to you.
Hi, Sean.
How are you feeling so far?
Good.
Yeah. All right. So as you know, for those of you watching at home, well, the distance between me and the teacher is at least 1 meter. But let's practice some more SOPs here. On the table, we have the hand sanitizer. How about we go to the table?
Yeah, sure.
Again, maintaining distance of at least 1 meter. You can use the hand sanitizer first, followed by me. All right. Of course, yes, it's very important for us to keep our hands clean to stop the spread of COVID-19. So before we continue, how about you introduce yourself once again to the audience at home?
Hi, my name is Cai Yan. You can call me Miss Sim, and I'm a teacher from SMJK Yukwan.
And how long have you been teaching so far?
7 years.
7 years,
Yeah.
all right. And for this topic for today, what are we touching on?
We're going to talk about email writing.
All right.
So writing about email is also part of an SPM paper.
But this is something new, right?
Yeah, it's in a new format.
So
Yes.
is it easy to score or is it difficult? What would you say?
For email, I think it's the easiest to score. Yeah, but the challenge is students have to finish 3 essays in 1 hour and 30 minutes.
All right, and hopefully with your guidance, we are able to do just
Yeah.
that. But how about we take a look at what we have or what the students have to say about this subject.
My name is Fuaji Chang and I am from SMJK Yukwan. I would like to share something that struggling me when writing an email. After reading the instruction from the test paper, sometimes I have no idea how to start an email. I'm not sure how to begin my sentences in an appropriate way. Besides, I have problem with linking my sentences into a proper writing. I always stuck for a long time to think about how to continue my writing. I do hope that I can solve this problem before sitting for my SPM exam.
I think one of the challenges of writing an email for me is sometimes I don't understand the title and the question asked in the paper. Therefore, I cannot answer the question directly, and it makes time for me to think about it. I may not have enough time. Not only that, sometimes I will miss some important point in the question and thus forget to answer them and miss the score for those parts. I guess that's all for me. Thank you.
And there you have it, the opinions from the students who will be taking this paper later for their SPM. Now, obviously, it's not just the both of us, right, Miss Sim? We also have our special guests who are online with us today. Let's have a look at who they are. Hi! Hi, everyone! There we go. We have the wonderful faces of our students who are online right now. So what I'm going to do is, yes, that's right, continue smiling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mention your names one by one. So please introduce yourselves. I'm going to start off first with Kwang Zi.
Hi, my name is Guang Zi and I'm from SMJK Yukwan.
Thank you very much. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Good, huh? Wow, very short responses. I think you're nervous as well, or maybe probably excited. You want to keep all your words for your answers later. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to Mahalachumi. Hi.
Hi, I'm Mahaleshmi from SMJK Okwan.
All right, maybe you can tell me one thing that you like about the English subject.
I like English subject because I like the language.
All right, thank you very much. Next we have Jing Xian.
Hi, I'm Jing Xian, also from SMJK Yokwan.
All right, and have you eaten?
Yes, I have.
What you ate today?
Roti canai.
Roti chana, yes, that's actually one of my top favorite food. Thank you so much. We're in the same group, yeah, same gang. Next up, we have Ke-Ching.
Hi, my name is Pan Ke-Ching. I'm from SMJK Yokwan.
All right, and what do you expect to learn today, or do you already know what we're going to touch on today?
The writing of email.
Do you think it's difficult for you?
I think it's not difficult for me.
All right, yes, and hopefully with the guidance of Miss Sim, everyone can also feel the same, because technically after the explanation, even I went through the explanation just briefly with Miss Sim, I think it's something that everyone can actually pick up pretty quick. Thank you so much, Ke-Ching. Next we have Jiamin.
Hi, I'm Jamin from SMJK Yokwan. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. And I noticed that some of you are wearing blue. Is that a special color for, are you a prefect or a librarian?
Prefect.
Prefect. Okay. Is it difficult being a prefect at your school?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you so much. And last but not least, we have King Yi.
Hi, my name is King Yi from SMJK Yokwan.
All right. Thank you, King Yi. And relating back to the question from Jiamin, do you find it difficult to be a prefect at your school?
No.
No, okay, so that's 2 for 2. All right, thank you so much. And final question is, are you ready for our lesson for today? Give me a thumbs up if you are. All right, love the energy, love your smiles. Keep it going, because we're going to take a short break and be back for you for Road to Success SPM 2021. Stay tuned.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
In my point of view, the most important aspect to be aware of when writing an email is the content or information we need to share with the specific person. For example, when we are writing an email to somebody about an event that we have organized, then the purpose, location, date, and time of when the event will start have to be included in the email. If any of these components is not mentioned in the email, then the people who receive our email will be unable to join the event, even if they are interested in it. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
And we are back for Road to Success SPM 2021 together with me, Sean Siren, and also Miss Sim. For the subject, of course, for English. Now, just during the break, or before the break, I was actually just interviewing a bit the students who are online, and I came to find out, I was asking them about them being prefects and whatnot, and they said it's a wonderful job, very easy to do. They are saying that because I came to find out that Miss Sim is actually the discipline teacher, which makes her in charge of prefects. Isn't that true, Miss Sim?
Yeah.
Okay, no wonder they are like, yes, everything is good, everything is good. Okay, Mahal actually nodding a bit too much, huh? Okay, any head prefects here? No, huh? Normally Form 5 is, they already hand over their title, right?
Yes.
Okay. I remember when I was a prefect, it was also a wonderful time. Hopefully my discipline teacher is also watching, so they know that they did a good job lah. And yes, it's good also to have the discipline teacher as an English teacher, so that she can ensure that you learn the correct way. And yes, today is on writing emails, isn't that right?
Yes.
And I think it's very, very important, because even now in the digital age, writing something as simple as an email it's very, very important, whether you're applying for a job, or whether you want to just write to a friend, or if you want to inquire anything regarding an event or even lessons. It's very important to know the proper format. And today we'll be learning just that. So right now, Miss Sim, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. So today is actually Form 4 revisions, and we are going to use Form 4 textbook, which is on Module 6 with the title Timeout. And I'm going to focus on the writing paper, which is on your English 1119, paper 2. Okay, so let's see the theme of today. All right, and before I go to the themes, this is the new format of SPM. All right, because the new format of SPM, we aligned with the CFR, and this CFR is also means a common European framework of reference.
Oh.
So we refer to them,
Okay,
so it's
okay.
standardized. So for paper 1, we have our reading paper, which is, we have 5 parts, 40 marks, 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then for writing, we have 3 parts, 60 marks, 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, this is the one where you mentioned about
Yes, this
writing
is the
3
one
essays in
where we
1.5
are going to
hours.
focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have paper 3, which is speaking. We have 3 parts as well. And then with a total of 24 marks in 13 minutes.
Okay.
And the last will be our listening paper, which is 4 parts. And then it consists of 30 marks overall. And then it is also took like roughly 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So this is the new format. So let's move on to our learning objectives of today. So by the end of these lessons, I hope that pupils can remember at least 2 important parts in writing, a letter or email. And then for the second ones, pupils can reply to or give at least 3 informations asked in a letter or email.
All right.
So if we focus on the textbooks, for the teams, we will touch on people and culture.
Okay.
And then the content standard of a scheme of work will be writing 4.2, so that students can communicate with appropriate language, form, and style. And then for the language focus, we're going to focus on semi-formal letter or email.
Yep.
Okay, because they're almost the same for letter or email.
Okay.
And then asking for information and some tips on writing email in SPM English paper 2. And our reference will be the Form 4 textbook on page 86 and 87.
So people who's watching at home or students who's
Yes,
watching at
you
home
can
are able
have
to
your
refer their-
textbook with you.
Okay.
It's easier for you to look at it. You can look at page 81 first. There will be the title, topic 6, module 6. And then you can refer to page 86. We'll touch on a semi-formal email.
Okay.
It is actually a letter in the textbook,
Yeah.
but I try to modify it in an SPM format so that students will get used to it.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good, that's good.
So like I say, we are going to focus on writing paper, and we are going to focus basically on part 1. So this part 1 is short communicative message, which normally they will have email. And it consists of 20 marks.
Okay.
And students have to write roughly about 80 words.
80
So
words.
it's not that long, just
Yeah.
a very short one.
Okay.
Okay, so before we start about talking how to write an email,
Yeah.
let's have a little warm up about what do you enjoy doing in your free time, because the topic is about time out, right? About
Yes.
the free time. During the free time, what would you do? So maybe Sean can answer first. Like,
Oh, yes,
what would
yes.
you do during your free times?
During my free time, I actually try to find time to exercise, to work out,
Okay.
because there are times, I mean, I love to eat and I don't really take care of what I put into my mouth. So it can be rice and curry and fried chicken and chocolates and, you know, all sorts of stuff. So I'll try to find time at least 3 times a week to do an exercise to sweat out a bit, so that I am able, or I can eat without feeling guilty.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How about you, Miss Sim?
A lot. I have a lot of things that I really want to do if I have free times. But normally I would just like do some cooking at home.
Oh.
Yeah. Or maybe just painting.
Sorry?
Painting.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
painting. Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's
So
nice.
let's listen to our students. So you can talk about sports or hobbies, like I say painting just now, or entertainment, or about family time, whether you like spend with your family. How about Kingi? Can you share with us what would you do during your free time?
Yes, of course, teacher. For me, I would like to play basketball in my free time because it helps me to enhance my self-esteem and regulate my stressful emotion as well.
Oh, I see.
Wow,
So Kingi like
basketball player in the house, b-ball, nice. What position do you play?
Center.
Center. I think that's the person who runs the most, huh? Actually,
Because
forgot.
he's very tall as well.
Oh, okay. Are you able to dunk? Do a slam dunk?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, good.
Okay.
Sorry. Over to you, Miss Sim, yes.
Yeah. How about the next students? Anyone would like to share what would you enjoy during your free time? Maha?
Miss Sim.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have free time, I would like to do gardening because it helps me boost up my mood and connect with plants. Besides that, it is a great form of exercise for our physical health too.
Oh.
That's actually a very interesting hobby because I try to do gardening. I have a few plants at home. I mean, I stay in a condo, so it's not that much of space. But the problem is most of my plants somehow end up not alive. Yeah, so probably maybe afterwards I can ask Maha for some tips on how I can keep my plants alive so that it looks greener inside.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much, Maha. Yeah.
All right. Okay. How about next? Anyone would like to share your free time?
Charlene?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, as I will see for my SPM examination this year, I have to attend many tuition classes to improve my study. So I do not have enough time to accompany my family. Thus, if I have free time, I will like to spend it with my family. For example, I will have a meal with my family, or chit chat with them, or exercise together. That's all.
All right.
Oh wow, that's actually a very good thing.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes some people, even though they're busy, and then when it comes to family time, sometimes they, especially nowadays, they tend to use their phone a lot. So I have to actually check with Jamin's mother whether she's really telling the truth or just telling everyone. Don't spend too much time on your phone, okay?
But I think,
Maha, you laughing, huh? Wow, okay. Thank you so much, Jamin. But yes, it's actually a very good, important point. I mean, now because you're preparing for your SPM, you've got lots of tuition classes. You want to make sure that you're well equipped. You suffer a bit now so that you can enjoy later. Very good one, Jamin. Thank you.
All right. Next. Who would like to share? Jingxian?
Yes, I would love to share with you guys. Yes, during my free time, I mostly read novels at home.
Oh, read novels. So what kind of novels do you read?
Well, most of the time, I read fantasy and mystery types of novels.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Thank you.
wow,
Mystery types of novels.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay,
That's
nice.
Nancy Drew, I think Nancy Drew is considered.
Last time, I think I don't really know they know about Nancy Drew or not.
I
But
think
last
this is
time,
our time.
I do check the list, I make sure that I have read all the series of Nancy Drew. And
Yes.
Yeah, so I love that series.
I've known of Nancy Drew, but I wasn't much of a reading person, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, please continue, yes.
Yeah. Then the last, Kongza?
During my free time, I usually play computer games with my online friends. Moreover, I also like to watch movies with my family members.
Oh, okay. Computer games.
Online computer games. Do you play on your mobile phone or on your computer?
I prefer computer.
Computer, okay. I can't say much about computer because I usually play on my mobile phone. But let's not go into that. Let's go back to the lesson at hand.
All right, okay. So let's move on, right? So let's look at the next slide. Okay, so this will be on page 81. You will find out the module 6 with the title timer, and then you can see this little boy. I think he's also playing games, computer games or some sort of it. Okay, so we are focusing on writing, right? So let's look at, when we talk about writing an email, normally students will ask like how to start an email or how to end an email, or how to get the information or look for the information that they really want to put into their email. So let's see. For example, this is your practice, okay, in your textbooks as well. It's on page 86. If you look at it, it's exactly the same, okay? So let's look at this one. We have this Putrajaya Century bike ride on Sunday, 16 June. So it is about, I think, is cycling race or something like that. So I want you to put in mind, like, one question: would you like to take part in a cycling race like this to raise money for charity? Because I think that it is to help the HFM raise money to fight against heart disease. So would you like to take part in some sort of race to raise money? Why or why not? And another question will be, if let's say you're interested in it, what kind of information would you like to know about the race before you make your decisions? So maybe I can ask like one or two students to answer each question. Maybe the first one, would you like to take part in a cycling race like this? Why or why not? Can I hear the opinions of Jingxian maybe? Jingxian?
Yes, sure. For me, I will personally participate in this kind of races Well, not only can I help to raise money for charity, I can also expand my social circle. Well, this because I think that it's easier to befriend someone who has the same interest as I have.
Okay, thank you. How about Jamin? Jamin, would you like to join this?
In my opinion, I think I will not participate in this cycling race. Although the event is quite effective to raise money for charity, but I'm not that good in cycling, so I will not participate in it.
Okay. Yeah, but so you will not participate in this, but would you help out? Would you help out?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
yes,
yeah, you will help out, but you will not participate in the cycling. Maybe she's not good in that.
It's for a good cause, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how about what kind of information would you like to get? Let's hear from King Yi. King Yi, what kind of information would you like to get before you make your decisions?
For me, I would like to ask according to the racer safety. For instance, whether or not the protective gear, including the protective glasses, helmets, and gloves, provide to the racer or not. And the other things that I would like to know is the root condition of the racing track. Ensuring that track is even is very important because photos could lead to dangerous accident during the race.
Okay, so safety comes first, right? How about Kaching? Kaching, what is your opinion on this? What kind of information you would like to know?
I think I would like to ask about the place that.
Is it near to your house? Is it?
Yes, and another information I would like to ask is about whether the host has prepared any equipment for the races. If the host has prepared everything for races, that I would like to join this because it's very convenient.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we have to move on here real quick to the next one. This one you can see on your textbook as well. Okay, so this is the reply from Ayman Megets, right? And he's writing to Miss Samat. Okay, we can see here, I want you to keep in mind, like how does Ayman address the person he's writing to? You can refer to this, the first part here. And what kind of information does Ayman give about himself? Maybe you can look through at the second paragraph. Yeah? And then what information does Ayman ask for? This is very important at this paragraph. I think it's the third paragraph. And does he use direct or indirect questions? Direct question is something like, how much is this? This is direct questions.
Yeah.
Like indirect questions, you will be in a more polite way, like, may I know or can I know how much this is?
Okay,
so it's like more polite way. And the last one will be, how does Ayman sign off? You can refer to at the end there. Okay? So, and also I would like my students to go through it. Okay, you look at the sample format of a semi-formal email. Normally you will have two. And then for this one, you have to refer to the email address of your persons, the persons that you're going to write to. And then the subject, just a very short one, a very direct one. And then address to who. And then your information, your purpose of writing this email. And then what kind of information you want. And last is your sign-off. Okay? So keep in mind this because you're going to have another practice that I want you to try. Okay? Which is this one. All right? So this is the questions. It's also in your textbook, which is on page 87. Okay? You can look at this. Sign up for an unforgettable experience about caving adventure, I guess. So this geology club is organizing a caving trip, a one-day caving trip. You have the contact information down there. So write an email to Mr. Trenton giving any necessary information about yourself and asking for the information you want. So maybe you can ask about the price of the caving trips or whether the lunch is provided or not, or do you need to bring any special equipment. Okay? So keep in mind of this and try to write it out. So later I'm going to ask for your response for this.
Okay, so I guess even the people watching at home or the students watching at home can also jot this down. Try to prepare your answer, and maybe during the lesson later, if we have enough time, we are able to go through properly, and you can compare your answers and see whether those answers are similar to what we'll be presenting later. And hopefully by then you can also see what or whether or not your answers are in line with what we are looking for. And while waiting for that, or while waiting for that to happen, we're going to give you some time. We're going to take a short break, and we're back to you for Road to Success SPM 2021.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Puan Nurizan Mahari, a biology teacher at SMJK Yokuan, and also a mother to Amirul Shazwan, an SPM candidate for 2021. My biggest hope as a mother is for him to achieve excellent result for his upcoming SPM. May this pandemic not be a challenge for all of the candidates to get a good result. Thank you.
And we are back for Road to Success SPM 2021 together with me, Sean Steven, and also Miss Sim. All right, Miss Sim, let's continue our lesson.
Yeah. So before we continue with semi-formal email, I would like to touch a little bit on informal email. Because sometimes for the questions, it might come up with informal. So I just want to let the students know how does it look like. Okay, so we'll go through a little bit. So let's look at this. This is taken from one of the model questions. So, and I modify a little bit. So we can see that this is on part 1. You must answer this question. That means you need to do this. You cannot skip this. And then the questions 1, you receive an email from your cousin Jessie, who is interested in joining the same mathematics tuition class with you. So this is how she wrote the reply. She wrote the email to you. Okay, so hi, it was great to hear that your mathematics has so much improvement recently. I would like to join your maths tuition class, as you know that I'm not good in calculating. Where shall I go, and when should I register for the class? What should I bring for my first class? I'll be waiting for your reply. Bye. Okay, so if you can see that I have bold the words here. Can you guess what is the purpose of this?
Just to highlight the information that you are asking, or that person is asking her, I think her cousin. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So this is the part where students really have to pay attention. I just need to say it again, because this is very important. You need to answer these 3 questions in your SPM writing paper, especially for email. So if you miss one question of this, you cannot score full marks.
Oh no!
So in order to score full marks, you must answer all these 3 questions. Because for email, it's quite easy to score 20 marks if you answer all the questions properly. Yes. Yeah. So it's very important to identify all the questions they ask. So first thing is, where shall I go? The second is, when should I register for the class? And the third is, what should I bring for my first class? That means in your email, you must put all these information. Yeah.
All right.
So you will get an answer sheet, something like this. Okay. They have provided the template for you. You just have to fill in the email address and then the subject. The subject can be a very simple one, like, I don't want to give the answer. I want to ask my students what kind of subject they think is suitable for this. So can I ask someone like maybe Guangzi, what kind of subject do you think is suitable for this? Refer to the previous one, the mathematics tuition class like this. Okay, so what do you think would be suitable for this subject?
For the subject, I think I will write a mathematics tuition class.
Oh, just very straightforward, is it? Mathematics tuition class? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes? I think yeah? Okay. It's all right. How about Maha? Maha, would you like to try? What would you put?
Maybe I'll put recommendation for mathematics tuition class.
Recommendations? Because you're recommending where, when, and what should your cousins bring, right? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so it's just a very short one. Just like a title with that. Okay? And then you write your email. An informal email it's also same like the semi-formal email. All the things are the same.
Oh,
it's just that it's a little bit more informal. You can just say hi or bye or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to our topic today, a semi-formal email. So like just now, I mentioned about the reply from Ayman Maggots. Okay. So I would like to ask my students, how does Ayman address the person he's writing to? And this is also very important, for all the students at home. Okay, please keep in mind, because when you write an email, you must address the persons that you are writing to in a proper way, and especially the names. Don't write the wrong names, right?
Yes, very important.
So for questions number 1, who would like to try this? Anyone of my students?
Me, Miss Lim.
Oh, Kaching. Okay, so Kaching, how does Ayman address the person he's writing to?
He addresses the person as Miss Samad.
Miss Samad, yes. Okay, Miss Samad.
Okay.
Yeah. The second questions, how about another students? What information does Ayman give about himself? Any volunteer?
Me, I would like to try.
Okay, Jingsen.
From the letter, he gives information about his full name, his age, and his interest about cycling.
Yeah, right. His full names, his age, and then his interest. Okay. So question number 3. What information does Ayman ask for? Okay, this is also very important, And any volunteer?
Me, Jamin.
Jamin, okay. So what kind of information that Ayman would like to know?
In paragraph 3, Ayman asks about the amount of registration fees, time to pay the fees, and whether the club has provided any training for by right or not.
Yes, because he would like to know whether the club has provided any training or not, right? Yes. How about questions number 4? Does he use direct or indirect questions? Kingi, would you like to try this?
Yes, teacher. I think he uses both direct and indirect questions.
Direct and indirect questions, right? Because here we can see that I would like to know is something like indirect, right? In a more polite way. And then direct is when will I have to pay it, right? Okay. Next, the last questions. How does Ayman sign off? Guangzi, maybe you can answer this?
Yes, I can answer this. Ayman sign off with yours sincerely followed by his full name.
Yes, yours sincerely followed by Ayman Maggots. Yes, correct. So these are the formats that you have to keep in mind. All right. So 2, you need to write email address. 2 is writing down the email address, not the name, because I have some of my students, they just write the name.
Yes, I was just about to ask that. So for the email address, do we just make something up, or how do we write the email address?
This one refer back to the previous slide and the contact information there. They actually provide it. For example, like if in your SPM paper they didn't provide any, you can just create your own. Just make sure that the name is correct, like Sarah Samad. You don't put your own name there. And then the subject is the one that I say. Just keep it short and make sure it's related to the content of the email. And then we need to start with the addressing of Ms. Samad. And then you give your purpose of writing this email, and then your informations and the information you would like to know. And the last but not least, you must also remember to sign off with yours sincerely, and then you put out your name and have to put your full name, is in the proper way. Because I know like some of my students, they would just put strawberry. They thought it's just a nickname. No, you have to put your full name. Yes. Because this is also a semi-formal, so have to be a little bit formal.
It has to follow some formality.
So all this. Okay. All right. So next, let's move on to the second practice, which is writing about an email to Mr. Trenton about the calving adventure. This is the previous one that I have shown to you. Okay. So you have the email address here. Remember, edwardtrentons@mail.com, right? So let's listen to our students' responses because we cannot see their writing, right?
Oh, yes.
So let's listen to them. This is like some sort of the format you're supposed to have, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, who would like to start first with the two subject and then the address to who, and then maybe tell a little bit about the introductions? Anyone?
Me, Guangzi.
Guangzi? Okay, Guangzi, let's try.
For the two, I will write Mr. Edward Tredden email address, which is edwardtredden@mail.com.
Yes, okay, this one, yeah.
For the subject, I will put a cabin trip.
A cabin trip, okay.
Dear Mr. Edward Tredden, I saw the announcement about one-day trip to Crystal Cave on my school notice board. I'm always being fond of outdoor activities, so I'm very interested in participating in this trip.
All right, thank you. So you set your purpose as well, right? You would like to take part in this trip. Okay, good, very good. So how about the next students? Can you share with us your writing about giving your own informations, because you would like Mr. Tredden to know about your informations, right? So anyone would like to try this? Any volunteer?
Me, Maha.
Okay, Maha?
My name is Jessica and I'm 17 years old. I'm not a member of Geography Club and I have never taken part in any geography event. As I am very keen to know about the cave system, I think this is a good opportunity to join the club and take part in the one-day trip to Crystal Cave.
All right, thank you. So Maha also mentions that she never has such experience, because here in the questions it says that you need to say whether you have any previous caving experience or not. Because sometimes students will like miss this, because this is the one that they have to give. Like I said, you need to give all the information they ask, right? So sometimes they will miss that. So make sure you read back again all the questions they're asking. So make sure you have all the answers.
So that means if, let's say, for example, they ask to give name, age, say whether you have done it or not. But what happens if we were to give any other information that...
It's okay. Extra information is okay, but just that you don't miss any information that they ask, right? To get a full score.
All right.
Okay, so move on. Let's have another student to share with us about what kind of information you would like to ask, okay, if you would like to join this caving trip. Can I have another student? Who would like to try this?
Me, teacher, I would like to try.
Okay, Jinxian.
However, I would like to have some information about the caving adventure. Firstly, I would like to know about how much will the trip cost, as it is not mentioned in the announcement. I'm also wondering whether lunch will be provided during the trip.
Okay, so you have that too. All right, the first one. Okay, let's go back to the questions. All right, so you asked about the price, you asked about the lunch. Okay, how about the special equipment? Maybe we have another student to share with us and then make the conclusions and then you sign off, okay? So anyone would like to try?
Me, Jamin.
Jamin, okay, Jamin.
Besides, do I need to prepare any special equipment for the trip? Since I do not have any previous caving experience, please reply me earlier so that I can prepare the needed equipment. For the conclusion, looking forward to your reply. Thank you. And yours sincerely, Jessica.
All right, thank you. But you didn't write for the conclusion in your writing, right? I just want to double confirm. Did you write? Noah, just to make sure you didn't write for the conclusions, okay, because we no need to write that. You just say, okay, looking forward to your reply or what, right? Okay, that's good. So you actually follow exactly the same like the previous reply from Ayman's, right? So this is, if you can see, email is very easy to score, okay, because in about 80 words only, okay? Then just make sure you know the email address, or you correct one, and then make sure your subject is clear and related to the content, and you have the persons that you're going to write to, and you sign off with your name, and the informations here all depends on your SPM questions in the paper. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I guess this is
I actually
the
have a
format.
question. So
Yeah.
for this essay in particular, it has to be not more than 80 words. But what if we exceed those 80 words?
Actually, if you exceed a little bit, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or if you exceed a lot, there is no rules that you cannot exceed a lot. But you need to keep in mind that you only have 1 hour and 30 minutes for 3 essays. So
yes,
I would
that's
suggest students to only roughly write around 80 to 90 words like that, because you need to have more time for another 2
The other
essays at the
parts as
back.
well, But also
And
to ensure that we hit every information that's
yes,
needed.
you just have to make sure you have all the informations in there, make sure your grammar is correct, then everything will be fine.
All right.
Yeah, you get full marks.
Thank you so much, Miss Sim. And of course, before we continue, how about we take a short break and we're back for you for Road to Success SPM 2021. Stay tuned.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Salam sejahtera semua. Nama saya Tia Leping, anak saya Eng Cheng Ling. Harapan saya terhadap anak saya sewaktu SPM diberi kesihatan yang baik, ketenangan dan kebijaksanaan untuk menjawab soalan SPM dan seterusnya mencapai impian anak saya.
And we are now in the final quarter for Road to Success SPM 2021. Together with me, Sean Stephen, as your host, and our teacher for today, Miss Sim. Now, I have a question for all our students who are online, or pupils who are online. Are you able to cope so far? Is everything okay? You have any questions you'd like to ask? Because we are actually approaching towards the end of the show for today. All good? All good? Okay, yeah, looks like whatever they have explained, Miss Sim seems to be reaching our students, and hopefully for those of you who are watching at home as well, you get to somehow capture and also understand what is being explained to you so far. So just before we end, we're going to just do a recap of what we have studied for today. So over to you, Miss Sim.
All right. Okay, so this is a summary of what we have learned today. Remember the learning objective that I say that the first one is pupils will identify the 2 important parts. That means you need to address it. How are you going to start your email? You need to address the persons correctly. And the second things will be how are you going to end the email is to sign off, right?
Yeah.
So that is the format of a semi-formal email. You have to always keep in mind all those important things, right? And then the second one is we have to learn how to identify the informations that they are asking for, so that we can give the proper informations that they want.
Yeah.
Right, and don't miss out any informations.
Okay.
And we also can ask for some other informations that we think might be important if we want to join for their activities or something like that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Okay. So this is briefly about a semi-formal letter or email. So it's actually written to a person you know, but actually you are not very close to them. They are not your friend. Maybe it's just or a relative. They are just like someone you need to asking about. Yeah. Yes.
For example, like when you showed an example of the informal email.
Yes.
For example, that for that particular example, you were explaining about how that person would ask his or her, I think it was her cousin, Jessica, on the type of items to bring for the mathematics class and all that. So the type, or you can see the style of writing is different because it's someone that you know, and you know how that person would react to your style of writing as compared to someone that you don't know. Obviously, you have to be a bit more courteous. You have to ensure that the language you use is proper, because what you want at the end of the day is the information that you want to ask that person.
Yes, and try to be in a more polite way.
All right.
Yeah. And then you can begin with, like, for example, if you know their names, you can put dear Mr., Miss, Mrs., okay? But if you are not sure about their name, maybe their surnames or their first name, or if they do not give any, you can just put any that you think is suitable for it.
Yeah.
Actually, you can just create one.
There is something that I've learned in school, but I just want to reconfirm with you that, for example, like for men, it's very easy to say Mr. because that applies to both married and unmarried men. But for females, there's 2 types, as Miss and Mrs. So how do we use that?
Yeah, okay. For Mrs. normally someone who is married, okay? Yeah, and then we'll refer it as Mrs. But for Miss, normally it's for a single lady or who is not married yet.
For example, like Miss MS is can be used as a general term for all women.
You may, if you are not sure whether that person is married or not, right? But normally we will use madam.
Madam. Okay.
Yeah, madam.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, just to be safe because you are not sure whether it's a miss or not, right? Yeah, we'll put madam. It will be a more polite way.
Okay.
And then, and also you end with yours sincerely, or you can put all the best, or you can put best wishes. But you don't just say bye and then your names or sometimes students will not write any of this. They will just straight away write their names.
Oh no, they might lose marks there,
so,
right?
not really, but it will carry for the language style, like whether your language is suitable or appropriate or not.
Okay.
So yeah, from there. So have to be careful, like this one, just stick to one. Maybe you can just memorize once, like yours sincerely, that one, right?
I think that's also very applicable to our current times. Even me as an adult right now, when I write emails to ask about anything or to get more information, I will always sign off with yours sincerely because that's the most, commonly used and it wouldn't offend anyone.
Yes, that is true. Okay. So let's go to when asking for and giving information. First thing, like we keep on mentioning it, okay, stress on it, is we need to write it in an appropriate style, okay? So make sure it's an appropriate style. You don't just start with, hi, bro, or something like that. It sounds so like informal, right? Yeah. And then you need to make sure the persons that you're writing to, is it close to you or not? Is it informal or formal? So they will not tell you this is a formal or semi-formal or informal. You have to identify it by yourself. Okay. And then you have to cover all the points, means all the information they're asking for. You have to organize the information in paragraphs. You don't just write everything in one paragraph.
I think
it's very hard to identify it.
That's for two reasons. Number one, like you mentioned, is to identify the points. For example, this is your introduction or this is your information that you want to tell to them. Because if you put it all into one big paragraph, not only are we not able to identify the points, but it also looks very tiring to the eyes. Imagine for a person like me who read on don't read on a daily basis, and suddenly I see like everything lumped up into one big paragraph. It'll be quite demotivating to read, and you want to be on good terms with the examiner or the person who marks the paper, right? So you want to make it as pleasant as possible.
And then you need to make sure that they can identify all your points. Like if not, they will miss your point. Although you have written it, maybe sometimes they just miss it. So you need to make sure they read it. Okay. So and then we use the standard grammar and spelling like usual. A combination of direct, indirect questions. Use the appropriate phrases to express enthusiasms. Like you need to tell them you really want to join this. Like I'm very interested in it. I'm very keen on it. Or I think this is a good opportunity for me. And I was excited to hear that. Or I have always been fond of. Just to let them know you really want to join this so that they can reply you as soon as possible.
Yes, that's great. I think it's very nice that you also included all these appropriate phrases, because sometimes if we use the same same kind of sentence,
that's why I put a
phrase every time, it might seem a bit boring. Or if let's say you have to do, you never know that the email has quite a similar theme as to your essays, and when the person marks it, they might see a repetition, even though it might not affect something, but it's also good to know all these different terms that we can use, whether it's writing email or even other essays that we might touch later for other episodes.
And very important to give a better impressions, a great impressions for the marketer to read your email so that you can get a higher score maybe.
Yes, that's true. All right. And I think right now what we can do is maybe you can also give us a summary or some tips on our subject for today, or our topic for today, for our students watching at home.
So for writing, actually the one thing that I keep on stressing on my on this paper is you need to be aware of the time, because this new format, you only have 1 hour and 30 minutes for 3 essays.
Wow.
So that is so stressful. Even for teachers, we also think like it's very rushing. Okay, for good student, maybe it's okay, because once they look at the question, they can straight away answer it. But some students, they need to plan. They need to think about it. So it takes some time. So what I would suggest is you try to get a shorter time for your email, and you give more times to the second part and the third part of the essay because you need to write more words. For the first one, you only have 80 words.
Yes.
The second is roughly like 125 to 150. But the last one, you need to write about like 200, 250. So it will be more, you need to spend more time on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be very challenging. So you just have to read the questions carefully. The second tip is read the questions carefully because some of my students, I don't know, maybe they are nervous or what. I got one student when our topic is about recycling.
Yeah.
Somehow he wrote to me cycling. So, and then he talked about cycling is a good form of exercise or something like that. But the topic is recycling. So you have to talk about recycling. It's nothing to do with cycling.
Okay, there was a misconception there, misunderstanding.
Maybe like recycling and cycling, right? Somehow he I don't know how he can confuse about it. Yeah, but after he wrote everything, then he just realized, he looked back at the questions again, and it is recycling. So I would suggest like, you don't wait until you finish writing. You can like just write the first intro and go back and check the questions again.
Yes.
To make sure you're aligned with the questions.
I think something that I can add on to that is to highlight key points in that question so that you are able to know and throughout that writing the side, right?
They can underline it or circle it.
Correct. Yes, and thank you so much for your tips, and hopefully those of you watching at home are able to use these tips. I know it's definitely useful because I sat through SPM and I know this is very, very relatable. When you are sitting for an exam, you feel very stressed, you feel very nervous, and you tend to miss out on this. So with more practice, and as that saying goes, failing to plan is planning to fail. So it's always good to plan your time ahead of plan your timing properly so that you are able to touch all 3 questions within the 1.5 hours. And thank you again, Miss Sim, for sharing all these tips and also this knowledge with us today. And also thank you to our students who are online with us right now: Keching, King Yi, Jiamin, Guangze, Jing Xian, and Mahalachumi for being with us today. And please do hopefully for those of you watching at home, hopefully you get benefits from our lesson today. And also for those of you who are watching, make sure you always follow the SOPs in place in our battle against COVID-19 to flatten the curve. And we'll see you in our next episode for Road to Success SPM 2021. Until then, bye-bye and stay safe.
DidikTV KPM